welcome to the show. We're going to start out by running past the inbound cars for switching, showing you where they're going, and then we'll take it from there. We do have a bit of work to do today. We've got 3 drop-offs, so 2 loaded cars, 1 empty to drop off. We've got 3 cars to pick up and 3 cars on the storage track. And we've got to pick up this empty gondola in the foreground, and that'll make 7 cars outbound today. So sit back, relax, enjoy your coffee as we run these cars into their destinations. American Technologies is back here in the corner in the gray building. We're going to back this empty into the spur, across the road, pick up the boxcar waiting there that's full of exports, and swap that out and get this empty placed back in the same spot. ATI is a fictitious company that builds computers and computer components. They get 2 spots. One is for exporting larger components and computers, and the other spot is for getting smaller components that go into the computers. Today they have filled up they're empty of computers and have called for another. So we're going to swap that out. And the next time, we're going to be bringing in a full boxcar of smaller components. The empty boxcars come from off of the Vermont Rail, and the full boxcars that get delivered here come from the CP interchange, and those do require a runaround. So things get a little bit more interesting with that, as you can see next time. with switching completed at ATI, we've got to set this SLR car back on that spur to get it out of the way of the tank car switching that we're going to be doing down to Champlain Fuels. So we're just going to set this here for the time being, and then towards the end we'll pick it back up and put it at the beginning of our train. Okay, now it's time to go down to the Champlain Fuel spur and pick up a CSX T gondola for a buffer so that we can complete our switching maneuvers for swapping out the tank cars at the fuel facility. Spend a moment talking about the namesake of this video, my little black sheep here, LLPX 2081. It is a GP38, and it's in the paint scheme of Burlington Northern. I had originally purchased this locomotive to become BTR 201, but with the long list of work that I've got to do on rail cars and other locomotives, I didn't want this locomotive to just simply sit in a drawer somewhere unused. I wanted to use it on the layout for some switching because it's a nice running model. So all I did was make some custom patches to kind of create a convincing fake leaser. So forgive my creative liberty here. It's just a great model, and I hope you can understand how much I want to keep using. At this point I kind of messed up. You'll see that I start shoving back to pick up some tank cars here. Originally I was supposed to just simply grab this gondola, head out to the runaround, and grab the full tank cars out there, but I don't know, I must have not been thinking quite right, so we'll just simply roll with it and make adjustments as needed. The real Champlain Fuels is a much bigger industry on the VTR. On this layout, we've only got 2 spots on the end of the spur, given the space constraints. But I did select my industries for this layout to reflect the similar kind of industries that are on the real VTR, so that all of my trains looked fairly prototypical, so that you wouldn't have cars running on this layout that wouldn't show up in real life on the VTR. And tank cars are always a safe option. At this point here, I'm going to try and attempt to recover from my mistake earlier. and run out and grab those tank cars in the background there on the runaround, and then come back in and switch out the empties for the fulls, using the track right there in the foreground. I recently bought a set of these white tank cars, a set of 3 from Athearn, and they're really nice models, but the disappointment with those is on the box it said that they were ethanol cars, which is what I had wanted, but all 3 of them came placarded with a hazmat number of 2672, which is ammonia, and it's corrosive. So unfortunately I'm going to have to replace those placard decals with something more fitting. But for now, we're just going to let it slide, because none of the other tank cars have a hazmat placard on them either. So yeah, I suppose it fits right in. The one thing about this locomotive that I've got to fix is going from notch 1 to notch 2 right here. It's a little quick, so the momentum that I've got on the train really works when I'm coming to a stop and starting off. But that as soon as I hit the button from speed notch 1 to 2, it just has the curve is really drastic. So I gotta sort that out in the CVs. But other than that, this model is a really nice running model. Over the past few weeks, I've been working at trying to get this layout and the videos to be a little bit better than my first videos. I've added the background that you can see there in the background of this video. And then I've also done some scenery type stuff on the large industry right in front of the mountains there at my utilities company. And then also in this video, I've been trying my hand at voiceover, and I hope that these little things are adding up to better videos. So let me know what you think down in the comments, and let me know if there's anything that I can improve. Funny little story about this little graffiti tag on the GATX tank here. It does say Dad, and that is a tag that I created when my daughter was younger a couple of years ago. She was drawing on my walls, and we tried to get her to stop, and so what I did was I created my own tag that said Dad. Kind of looked like an elephant, and I don't know, I practiced it over like a week or so, finally got satisfied with it, and then did a quick tag on her brand new bike on the seat post. And man, did she not like that at all. You would have thought the world was falling apart. It was easy enough to clean off. It was Sharpie on metal, so just a little rubbing alcohol took it right off. But she learned that day to stop writing on Dad's walls, and we haven't had a problem since. Okay, so with the fuel tank cars successfully delivered, we need to take these empties out to the runaround and assemble a train to go back to the yard. So we're going to pull on to track 1 here, which aligns with a little bit of a storage track that I've got on the end of the layout. It fits 3 cars, and today we've got 3 empty cars that for whatever reason were left on the storage track. We're going to assemble that as part of our outbound train on the back end of these tank cars, and then that blue LR car is going to end up on the front of the train and be our lead car there. So we've got all of our loaded cars at the front of the train and all of the empties on the back of the train, and the train or the locomotive will be running long hood forward. Put these cars all the way back to the cars on the storage track, we do have to do a little bit of a funky maneuver. Pull this blue SLR car back out onto the main line and shove the tank cars up to get it, and then pull that blue car back into the runaround so that we can get on the front end of it. So again, right about here is that drastic speed increase from notch 1 to 2. And I was hoping originally that I'd be able to edit that out. Little cut and splice sort of thing, slow down or increase the speed of the film rate. But I was unsuccessful in getting that done. So unfortunately, I'm just really going to have to sort the CVs out on this locomotive. Okay, so here is about good. We'll leave this blue car here, I think, and then we'll head around to shove the tank cars into it, and then pull it back onto the runaround from here. While we're getting the locomotive on the end of the gondola there, I have in the kind of foreground some bundled lumber loads they're more modern, and I feel like honestly the more modern lumber loads are a little bit easier to model. And I think I might be doing a video about how I'm doing these things. Ultimately, I just kind of created strips of, on paper, strips of what would resemble like the protective tarp over the pallets or bundles of lumber with the branding and everything, and folded around a couple of pieces of foam core. And it works really well, but I've just got to perfect it a little bit, and then I think I'll make a video on that. Okay, so now we're ready to bring the locomotive around long hood forward to what is now the front of the train, and the front end of this blue SLR car. Just got to switch a turnout, and I'll be on to track 1. And then from there, we'll shove back to get those empties on the storage track. Put the end of train device on, and we should be good to go. Here's those empties on the storage track, headed up by this old Raritan River boxcar. I do like this boxcar, and even though this layout is modeled in 2016-17, that boxcar is technically should be at about the end of its life, so I think I'm just gonna let it run on my layout, just simply because I don't know why, I just like that car. So yeah, there's the Raritan River car again. So thanks for watching. Like and subscribe, do the things, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.